Hey guys, Ashley here, and today I am bringing you my first ever book unhaul. Now, if you don't know what a book unhaul is, basically it means I will be giving these books away to Goodwill. I no longer want to read them and have no interest in them. I'm going to go into some detail about why I'm unhauling them, but I don't want this video to be too long, so we're just going to get started right away. First book I have here is All the Bright Places. I read this book a few years ago, and I did like it at first. And I did want to reread it, and it's been sitting on my bookshelf ever since. But after reading some book reviews about it, how people's opinions feel about the mental illness in it, and my own thoughts on the characters, I can agree with it. I don't really agree with the mental illness representation throughout the book. It was just very strange, and I just don't think it was very appropriate for what it was representing. And I don't know, I didn't really get anything from the book. I guess to say is I feel like I really didn't learn anything. Not that you should learn something from books, but especially something that's tackling the subject of mental illness, such as this book, I feel like I should be learning something throughout it. So for my first book, All the Bright Places, this one, bye-bye. Next, I have the entire Kingdom Keepers series. Now, I was very much into these books when I was younger. To be honest, I think I only read the first two, but I really loved them. I bought all the books, and I have most of the books besides the first and the last one. Now, I always told myself I was going to reread them when I get the first book, but every time I Barnes & Noble and I look at it, I'm like, I could spend my money on a better book that I wanted. And honestly, looking back at it, I just don't want to reread them. They're at my local library, so maybe I'll check out the first book again just to read it, but I don't know. I don't really see myself liking this series anymore. I think it is for maybe a younger audience would enjoy it more. I don't know. I just didn't like where it was going. I was kind of confused about the magic elements of everything and certain characters and all that. So I might give it a second chance, but I don't see myself purchasing or reading it in the near future at least. The next book I have is Violet Eyes. It is a retelling of The Princess and the Pea. I was really into these retelling series. I believe it's called, The Once Upon a Time is Timeless. It's a series with a bunch of different authors in it. Some examples on the back are Midnight Pearls, which is a retelling of The Little Mermaid, Belle, which is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and The Diamond Secret, which I believe is an Anastasia retelling. It is not a very long book. It's only like 200 pages. It is a very short, easy read. I think it's more for middle grade, from my understanding. I could be completely wrong. No, it says teen. I was very much into these books when I was in high school. I liked all the elements of it, but again, it's been sitting on my bookshelf for years, and I do not see myself picking it up again to read it. I think I have not better taste. I think that's wrong to say, because I think someone can like this and have the same taste as me. I think my tastes have just changed over the years. I think the writing might just be a little too simple for me. I like something a little more complex. So yeah, this one is going back into the little pile I have here. Also, it was a Princess and the Pea like retelling, but it was also like, it kind of felt like The Selection to me when I read it, which I wasn't a big fan of The Selection either, but that's a whole different video. Where, princesses were competing for the hand of a prince, and I don't know, it just felt very cliche, especially, there's a lost princess, and you know who the lost princess is right away, and no one believes her, and all this stuff, so I don't know. I just, again, wasn't a big fan of it. Goodbye. These next three, I'm not going to have much of an explanation for it. I'm out of college, so I don't need the College Girl's Guide to Everything. I do not need this book anymore because I'm out of college. And also the Graduate Survival Guide, How to Succeed in College. Again, I'm out of it, so I don't need it. And another one I'm not going to go much into is a Samantha mystery, the Stolen Sapphire, an American Girl book. I loved Samantha when I was younger. She was my American Girl doll growing up. But again, I'm not the age range for these types of books, so I am putting this in my unhaul pile, even though it's, I don't know, it was a gift when I was like 9, but still, I'm, again, never going to reread it because it's just not what I read anymore. The next book I have is The Passenger, or just Passenger. I saw this book was going around BookTube, everyone was praising it, everyone loved it, and I really wanted to give it a chance, but I feel like I'm saying the same thing with all these books. It's just been sitting on my bookshelf, and I just don't want to read it. I just don't feel the need. Like, it feels like a chore that, I had to pick this up and read it. And I've just been sitting on my bookshelf. I just don't have, like, I don't know. I just don't want to read it. I'm not interested in it anymore, and I just, it's whatever to me now. Maybe someday in the future I'll pick this up, but again, right now, I'm really not feeling it. So these next two might be a bit controversial, but I guess we'll see. Right here we have Game of Thrones by J.R.R. Martin. I have tried to read this book so many times. I cannot tell you how many times I've tried to read this book. And I get halfway through it and I start snoring because it's so boring. I mean, not that it's boring, but it's a lot. It's like an 800-page book. And I usually get halfway through it before I finally put it down. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't want to read it anymore. I think the wording's really hard. It's like a Tolkien book where they just describe things that I really don't care about at the moment. And I know you get more details in the book than the TV show, honestly. And I don't really watch the TV show because I don't have HBO. But I really wanted to read this, and I feel so bad that I can't read it. I can't get myself to read this book. Oh. But again, I'm sorry, Game of Thrones people. I'm a fan. I see the things on Tumblr, but book is not getting me. So that's in that pile. And the next controversial one, I guess, is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I literally was just sitting here debating whether I should put this in my Unhaul or not, because I feel like so many people praise it, and I don't know, I didn't like it. It was the same thing as J.R.R. Tolkien. It's just such a big book. It's almost 900 pages, and it's also very small. I don't know if you can tell. I'll just put my hand up on the back. Like, it's bigger than my hand, but it's small. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. It felt very slow, and I think, again, it's been a while since I've read this book. But I kind of didn't like Jamie in this. He felt very kind of abusive in a way. Now, right now, it's been a year, so I cannot tell you specifically why I thought he was abusive and stuff. So if you're in the comments saying he's not, I acknowledge that, and I honestly cannot remember why I feel this way, but that's the first thing that's popping up in my head. If someone in the comments wants to explain to me why I'm wrong, I am willing to listen, but at the same time, I personally can't remember why I thought he was abusive. And it was just sex, a lot of sex, that I was just like, alright, even for Game of Thrones, I was just like, alright, can we have a plot happening here? Like, I don't know. Again, it wasn't my read, and it sucks because I know it's a good Star show, and I know a lot of booktubers like this as well, but I don't know, guys. It just wasn't my thing. And I think I'm just also not into, I know in the next few books, it like jumps time a little bit because of certain things that happen, and they age and get older, and I don't know. Maybe if I get more hype about it, or one day I want to pick it up again, I don't know. But for right now, sorry Outlander, not feeling it. Next, I have Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell, I think is how you pronounce her last name. Apologize if I pronounce that wrong. I liked it when I first picked it up, and I like most of Rainbow Rowell's books that I've read. Fangirl and Carry On are some of my favorites. But this one, I don't know. I gave it 3 stars, I think, when I first read it. Oh wait, I didn't have a Goodreads. Well, if I did, I would have given it 3 stars. It wasn't great, but it wasn't the worst thing I've ever read in my life. And it was just, again, like, there was a plot, but there really wasn't a plot, so it just felt very slow, and I was just like, where are we going with this? And I don't know, I wasn't a fan of it. It was just kind of boring to me. I like some elements of it, like how our main guy character wears eyeliner and he doesn't care, and how our main girl character is overweight, and, you know, she's struggling with that in an abusive home. I thought that was interesting, but just overall the plot, I don't know, it didn't strike me, and I like books that strike me in that kind of way. So Eleanor and Park is going in the Unhaul pile. And last but not least, we have The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Neese. I wanted to love this book. It's such a great concept and idea, and I'm going to read the summary just so people know. What if you aren't the chosen one? The one who's supposed to fight the zombies, or the soul-eating ghosts, or whatever the heck the new thing is with the blue lights and death. What if you're like Mikey, who just wants to graduate and go to prom, and maybe finally work up to courage to ask Henna out before someone goes and blows up the high school? Again. Because sometimes there are problems bigger than this week's end of the world, and sometimes you just have to find the extraordinary in your ordinary life. Even if your best friend is worshipped by mountain lions. That is such a cool concept. Basically, it's these kids who live in a world where it's like a YA novel. Every generation has their own version. They mention how vampires were there and like another generation, or zombies and all that kind of stuff. But it's like once you become an adult, you kind of forget that, which I think is so interesting. And it was such a cool concept, and I really wanted to like it. And even one of the characters was a result of one of these end of the world things. I think he was the son of a goddess, like the cat goddess or something. I forget exactly. Or maybe she was an elf. I think she was a goddess. But anyway, it was such a cool concept, but I just feel like it wasn't executed the way I wanted it to be. Like, you think you would want to read about the lives of the people who just lived there in this kind of world, but it was also kind of boring. Like, yes, nothing like that affected them because they weren't the chosen ones, which I thought the chosen one chapters were very funny, and I'm glad they were put in there, but I don't know, I didn't like it. I don't know, it didn't have that spark or that pizzazz, or I don't know, that fanfare, I don't know, something. It just didn't have that something that I really want. And the cover is really cool. It kind of shows like everything that's kind of happened. Like, I think that's a fairy angel person. That one looks like Katniss Everdeen right there. Anyway, again, I really wanted to like this, but I'm so sad I didn't. But it is going in my unhaul, which is really sad. Alright guys, that was my unhaul video. I wanted it to be quick and easy, and just let you guys know, I'm freshening up my bookcase, reading fun new books. Yes, this is gonna be so much fun. Anyway guys, my name is Ashley. I make videos every Tuesday and Saturday, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!